Welcome to this tutorial video on the Flamma FX150. The goal of this video is to get you acquainted with the unit, its features and functions, so you can get the tones that you want out of it in as quick a time as possible. Think of it as like an instruction manual for people that don't want to read the manual. When you turn on the unit, you'll be greeted with a screen similar to this. This gives you the preset name, it gives you the preset location, so this is bank number 4 and preset A. These foot switches correspond to A, B and C per bank. You've got the effects chain underneath here, which shows you the order of effects and which effects are active. You've got an input and an output meter. You have a DSP usage meter here, so currently this preset is using 80% of the DSP. You also have the expression pedal indicators at the top corner there. To the right of the screen, you have these two knobs. You have an overall master volume for the pedal, and then you have a value encoder. When you're in this mode, the standard bank mode, you can scroll through presets very quickly. And when you're editing effects, it gives you control of parameters. To the right of that, you have an expression pedal and its associated LED here. So when the expression pedal LED isn't lit, you're in a volume control mode. And when you've got the expression pedal lit, that gives you control of your expression parameters, which we'll get into later on in the video. These three foot switches down here have a lot of features. So they let you navigate through a bank. So you've got presets A, B and C per bank. To navigate banks, you hold A and B together to go down and B and C together to navigate up. You can hold A and B together to get access to the onboard tuner, or you can hold B and C together to access both the looper and the drum machine. Once you've selected your preset, you can actually press the button again to engage a control mode, which will let you bypass or engage any of the effects blocks in the chain, kind of giving you a second preset. So here it's just bypassing the delay, but you can set it up to do any number of these blocks. Great for adding a solo boost, for example, with a bit of delay. If you hold the current preset button down, you get access to a tap tempo. Hold it again, and it goes back to your standard mode. On the back of the unit, you'll find a power switch, your power input. There's a USB port to connect to the editor and other devices. You have an auxiliary input so you can connect up your phone or computer to play along with backing tracks. You have an expression pedal 2 input to add an external expression pedal. There's your main guitar input. There's an effects loop here which lets you add a favorite pedal, or it can also let you do 4-cable method with your amp and utilize the amp's effects loop. And then you have your master left and right outputs. On the very end here is a headphone jack, so you can jam along silently at home. Something to be aware of when setting up this unit is what you're connecting it to. For example, if you're connecting to the front of your amplifier, you will almost always want the cabinet emulations turned off. If you're connecting to a full range device such as headphones, an interface or a PA system, you will almost always want them on. Just something to be aware of based on your particular situation. To edit a preset, click anywhere on the screen and it takes you to this editing menu. It includes your effects chain here, and these are your individual blocks. So they either represent effects in this case, or your amp and your cab. These blocks can be freely moved around the signal path so you can create a routing that's perfect for your use. To modify a block, if you click on it, it will bring up this. So this gives you control of the bypass, an effects list, so we're in overdrive. So we have a list of boosts, overdrives, distortions and fuzzes. And then you have your parameters. You can either edit them using the touchscreen, or if you want a finer degree of control, click on the parameter and use the value encoder. When you're done editing these things, you have a save button here. If you click it, you can rename the preset to anything you want that will display on the main screen and press OK. If you don't save the preset, any changes will be lost. To the top left of this screen, there's this button here, which is Quick Settings. This gives you access to an input level, so that's an overall input level for the whole pedal. If you're using active pickups, for example, you may want to attenuate that slightly, and if you're using particularly low output pickups, you might want to increase that. The cab sync here, what it does is when it's on, as you scroll through particular amp types, the cabinet will change and correspond to its correct cabinet. and if it's off like it is here, you can control them independently. Here you've got global cab on and off for both the left and right outputs. So for example, if you were running one output into front of house, you wanted cabinet simulation on, you'd leave that on. And if you were running, say, your left output into a guitar cab on stage, you'd want that off, so you're not getting cabinet modeling, then hitting a cabinet. Then at the bottom here, you've just got your language select. To the top right of this screen, you have this button here, which takes you to your menu to control your system and your foot switches. This first page here, this lets you select your control mode. So like I said, when you turn the LED purple, it gives you a second level of which parameters are bypassed. At the moment, only delay is selected, but I could also say select modulation and EQ, so that when I select that control mode, all of those get activated at the same time. Going back to that menu, with the tap, you get your selected tempo for the preset. And if you don't want any of these features to actually become live, you can just select off per preset and it won't let you access either the control or the tempo. Underneath that, you have control of your expression pedals. Pedal 1 is the internal one and pedal 2 would be an external one. Here you can modify your volume parameter, so when the expression light is out, that is your minimum and maximum volume, and then your expression control is when it's engaged. You can select any number of parameters to be controlled by the expression pedal. For example, if I wanted to control the delay mix, I come to delay, I select level, and then I can control the minimum and maximum values of the expression pedal. So that will correspond to the delay level. So if I set that up like that, and then we have a look at the delay block, you can see that the expression pedal is now controlling the delay level. If you want this expression pedal to function as a wah when it's not being used for a volume, if you come to your effects chain here and click on the FX block, select a wah type, so for example 535 cry, then go back to the menu we were just on, go to your expression pedal, and then you want to select the effects block. The parameter you want to control is the position, and then you need to set your minimum and maximum parameters. And then when you go back to this menu, you'll have to excuse me, it's quite hard to press when I'm sat down. But as you engage and disengage the expression facility, the wah block is also engaging and disengaging, so you can press it down and get instant access to your wah. If you want to modify your external expression pedal, just select pedal 2 from this menu and it gives you the same list of parameters that you can choose to control independently of expression pedal 1. Underneath your pedal menu, you then have access to your system menu, which gives you access to a lot of global parameters. I won't go through them all. Some are repeated from the quick settings menu, but here's where you'll find things like your screen brightness. There's a global EQ as well, which includes global high cut and low cut. There's also a number of other parameters to get the unit set up to exactly how you'd want it to be. Here you have a record and play volume for the looper as well. To give you a more real-world example of the kind of things we've been setting up, here's my standard preset sound. When I click the control, it adds in these effects blocks for more of a lead sound. Then I can access my delay tap tempo by holding it down so I can get more of a slapback kind of sound. Then we go back to the standard preset sound. Then we can add in the wah pedal by pressing down on this expression button. And then we can control the volume. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I hope you enjoy your new Flamma FX150.